very clear and evident, and we weren't able to slow it down in any way, shape, or form. And we got absolutely punked in the paint, and they big boyed us all night, and was the reason they won the game.
Yeah, Andy, like you said, 54 points in the paint for Wright State. Is there anything off the top of your mind right now that you guys want to do better defending that, because they have a lot of size down low?
Yeah, we weren't tough enough or willing enough to fight the fight. So when you only do it for small stretches of the game, you don't have a chance to win the game. And it started from the first play. Just threw it right in, caught it at the restricted circle, layup. And again, like, they're coming off a tough loss. We're coming off a tough loss. I don't understand the mindset that we have not to come out and compete. And we just want to trade baskets. They're going to win that game all day long because that's a strength of theirs. And when we don't defend, we don't win. And we keep being taught the same lesson because we refuse to pass the test.
Andy, how do you assess just the overall guarding of Calvin tonight? What was the game plan, trying to keep him at bay? It looked like you accomplished that in the first half, but ultimately kind of got his ultimately.
Yeah, he's a great player. He's a great player. He makes really tough shots. I thought we let him loose on a couple of easy ones early. Then we were able to kind of slow him down, and then he's their closer. So, he ended up having probably, he had the dunk, he had the pull-up jumper, he had the three, he had another layup. He probably ended up with 11 or 13 of his 24 in the last 6-7 minutes of the game. And, he's obviously one of the best guards in this league, and we weren't able to slow him. And so, it's hard when you're getting, battered in the paint, and then, he's able to kind of get off on the perimeter. It makes it really hard to win the game.
After Mike went on his own 5-0 run and brought some energy back into the building, Wright State took the lead and did not look back after that. Was there a specific play that you looked at in that run, 22-5, to end the game?
No. And it's just, just trying to get some good shots. I thought we had some decent opportunities offensively. But again, it just came down to us not guarding. I mean, we scored what we score. We win games when we guard, and we didn't guard today. So we don't win games in the 80s. Never have in the 16 years I've been here. I don't know if there's any games that we've ever won 85, 84, 83, 82, 89, 88. Like, it's not who we've ever been. And if we can't be realistic about what's the best path for us to be able to win, like, the first time we played them, we held them to 65 points. But we were really engaged. We were really determined. And tonight we just thought we could show up and not guard.
So it seemed like every time Army kind of got back to this game, they would go on like an 8-0 or a 10-0 run to kind of lengthen the game out. Is there anything that you can point to that you think is causing that?
Yeah, lack of sustained effort, right? So the first media, they scored 10 points. The second media, they scored 10 points. Then they score 11 points over an 8-minute stretch in the first half. We take the lead. That's crazy, right? They had 4 in the third media, and then they had 7 in the next. So from the under 12 to the under 4, they score 11 points. We take the lead. So it's incredible. And then they score 10 in the last media. They take the lead. So when we just stray from our formula, it's problematic for us. And we want to just keep believing that if we continue to do that over and over, that it's just going to change at some point in time. And history continues to repeat itself because we don't want to draw the line in the sand and say, I mean, they were 2 for 9 from 3 in the game and scored 54 points in the paint. I mean, it's just a lack of defensive effort and sustaining that effort for 40 minutes.
Andy, do you detect any parallels between Thursday's game and now, just in both situations, the things kind of slip out of your hands over the last several minutes, and what do you kind of attribute that to?
Just not, sometimes it comes down to being able to make the right plays and right decisions, in the end of games. And, both games this weekend against 2 of the best programs in this league, Northern Kentucky and Wright State, those guys have championship DNA. That's the defending champ, Wright State. Northern Kentucky was in the championship game, and obviously those guys have been to NCAA tournaments as well. And, we just did not make the right decisions coming down the stretch. And, again, a lot of it goes back to, can you get stops when you need stops? Can you dig in and get stops when they're going to be at their best with their best player with the ball or their best action or their best set? Can you come out and get a stop? And 5 seconds to go on the shot clock, we give up incorrect coverage on a screen, give up a lob. He misses the shot, but he gets the rebound, right? Think he gets a layup on the previous possession, incorrect coverage on a screen, they get a layup, right? Backdoor cut by Wellage on Josh Corbin. We don't even deny, but we're not able to make some of the plays at the times that we need to make them, and those are killer. We're going to go back and watch. I don't know exactly what the clip was. I think Noel ended up getting the layup after the ball was batted around a couple times on the offensive rebound, and we had one, maybe two guys in there kind of battling for it, and we had three guys like leaking out. Like it's not who we are. But unfortunately, that's what we did tonight, and doesn't allow us to be successful when we do that.
38 minutes for Khalil and Enoch. I know they played the majority of the game most of the time, but what do you try to do in the middle of the game to try to keep them fresh for the final stretch?
Just talk to them about where they're at. Obviously, they took a timeout at like the 9-minute mark. So that kind of gave us a breather. Maybe it was the 10-minute mark, and then we took a timeout at 6. So we tried to break up some of those medias for them to be able to get a little bit extra rest. So they were going 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. But it just the end of the game obviously is what people will reference. But the beginning of the game is really where we lost the game. We did not defend for the first 10 minutes of the game, and if you're not going to guard for the first for a quarter of the game, you can't win. And everyone will look and say, oh, it was only 20-18, but we were giving no effort on the defensive side. And as has now happened 3 or 4 times where we score early in a game and we feel like we don't have to guard and that this is going to be an endless supply of baskets, and we usually end up at the same place at the end of the game from a scoring perspective. We try to point that out, but it doesn't seem to be getting across, so we'll have to continue to do a better job of that.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.